All right, gentlemen, we are rolling. This is episode 3 of the Louder Across the Pond.
Wow. Look at that. Does that mean that we are now in the top 10% of people that started a podcast?
I think we're a lot higher than that. I think we're sort of 3% kind of now, something like
winning
that.
Already.
So before we went on air, we were admiring your new Iron Maiden sweater, Arjan.
Yes,
it's from the Power Slave tour.
Yes, and the Power Slave tour in Europe.
Nice.
So it has all the Europe, the Netherlands, and all of that. Yeah.
So did you pay a 1983 price for it?
Well, I'm Dutch, so I did got a deal. So Iron Maiden had this like flash sale, weekend sale with like 30% off.
Oh.
So I quickly just ordered this, and I ordered the Killers Tour T-shirt.
Well, thank you for giving us a heads up.
Yeah, sorry, man. Sorry. I should have done it. I now realize I'm saying it, and I feel really guilty. But next time I will.
That's fine.
I thought you all get the same newsletter that I get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess not.
No.
Right.
Anyway, so since we were last here, Megadeth, they released an album. They released Ride the Lightning, which I still haven't heard. Have any of you guys heard it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Maikel, did you listen to it?
I did not listen to Ride the Lightning because we said that we were not going to. However, I did listen to some of the songs. And let's just only a few. There's one that I actually like, but we can talk about that later. Do we want to go Ride the Lightning first, or what's the problem?
Yeah, I think so. Chuck? I think why don't we just get straight on? So what I'm going to do? Okay, firstly, what I want to say, anyone listening to this, and this bit I won't edit out, is I know I put some music up on a podcast years ago, and it was up for about a month or two, and now when you go and visit that podcast online, it's just silence where I put up the music that was copyrighted by someone else. So I don't know if at some point down the road, YouTube might mute this music. But if they do, the reason I'm saying this, if they do, just stick with us, because when the song finishes, we'll still be here at the end of it, and we'll still have sound. So you can just imagine the or however the riff goes for sort of 4 minutes or so.
I will say it took a lot of constraint to not listen to Ride the Lightning, because obviously we all want to, right? But so I'm excited.
I imagine it must be like dieting or something, you're kind of sitting there on a diet, watching a bit of TV or something, and someone offers you a chocolate and you're like, no, because all you have to do is just press one button.
Yeah. Right.
Or not drinking or something. I'm not drinking this weekend, but then you find yourself grabbing a beer from the fridge or something. Okay, anyway, let's try and share this. Okay, that sounds good to me. I don't know what you guys.
That works.
Sounds just like the original so far.
The same tempo.
Guilty as charged, but damn it ain't right. There's someone else controlling me. Death in the air, strapped in the electric chair. This can't be happening to me. Who made you got to say? I'll take your life from you. Flash before my eyes. Now it's time to die. Burning in my brain, I can feel the flame.
I'm not sure what I make of this. I'm liking it though.
Wait for the sign to flip the switch of death.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of the end.
I think I have an opinion already.
Yeah,
me too.
Not gonna lie.
My fingers flip with fear. What am I doing here? Flash before
You don't have to listen to the whole song, I suppose, right?
Yeah, pause for a sec, because I think I do think I want to hear the guitar solos as well, because that's a big part of that song. So yeah, first impression. Let me give me first mine. The vocals, right? I mean, it's hard because it's not a cover. He wrote the song, but the reality is we know Ride the Lightning already for 40 plus years now.
Yeah.
Because I think Ride the Lightning was released in 1984. So you would expect that a band recording this in, well, I guess 2025 at, oldest and a bigger budget than Metallica had, would have succeeded it with, better production and everything. And I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing and the voice is, I don't mind Dave's voice. It's not my favorite of Megadeth. It never was. Some songs are better with his voice. In this case, I can't stop comparing it to James. And
Do we know that when he was still in the band, did he actually sing it, or did James sing it?
He was the Dave has always been the lead guitar player.
Right.
Yeah.
He came in before Kirk Hammett. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that he used to sing the odd song as well.
No.
Or no.
Well,
never?
he was quite a showman. So early days, some people ask the question, well, who's the front man? Is it James or is it, Dave? But which I think already created a little bit of a riff there. But it took James a little bit to find his confidence, his voice, his attitude, and everything, right? But that also means that on Ride the Lightning. So if you listen to Kill 'Em All, there's a lot of aggression there. But Ride the Lightning, you can tell that James started to get a lot more comfortable with the songwriting. I mean, like For Whom the Bells Toll, right? I mean, the lyrics are actually really, really good for a thrash band that was still pretty young at that time. Was a lot of depth to it, but his voice became much more aggressive and dominant, and that's what's really missing on this. A couple of things I do want to say. One, Dave Mustaine did co-write these songs, so I think Dave has carried a chip on his shoulder for a long time.
No.
Maybe rightfully so, because it's got to be hard to see the band that you were in, that you co-founded, just be where they are today, right? At the same time, his attitude may have something to do with that. I do think as Dave has gotten older, I see him on Facebook or Instagram, wherever, he's actually quite funny. I've liked him better now than I did back then. For me, Megadeth technically is probably superior. We know is superior over Metallica. But I never got used to Dave's singing voice. And I only enjoyed it on songs where he was actually pissed off, like Peace Cells. And then interestingly, on the new album, there's this song called I Don't Care.
The second one.
Yeah. And I love that song. And his voice,
it's very punk.
It's very punk. So his voice is a little bit more punk, not metal. So when he is singing about a topic that really, I Don't Care, or Peace Cells, where he's pissed off, his voice makes a lot more sense versus classical metal. So I really hope that Ride the Lightning, his version, would have been less Megadeth and more punk influential. And it's not. And that is unfortunate because it feels too much like Ride the Lightning's Metallica's original one. And as a result, like you, Arjan, I'm just comparing Dave's version now to Metallica.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I think it's a missed opportunity for him.
It's also a little bit hard for me to judge because the guy did recover from throat cancer. So it's but if you even if you consider before he had that, I think I think you said it very well, Maikel. You know, technical, musical-wise, instrument. The Megadeth has always been absolutely superior. You know, great guitar players, great drummers. For me, the vocals was always the lesser thing. But on the fast songs, I can dig it. And on this album, I think actually he sings fine. It's just like in this part of the song, it doesn't match for some reason.
What's the guitar solo like? Is it worth us listening to it?
Oh yeah. I think it's. I mean, when Dave was in Metallica, like Maikel said, he was the lead guitar player. He was the man. I mean, if you hear interviews from like Kerry King, you know, when they see him playing in the Bay Area, they all go like, man, you know, Dave was the man. Not just for Metallica, but in that area. So he was definitely.
He knew how to play the solos without having to look at his left hand.
Yeah,
right. He was just looking everywhere. As a result, he was that showman because he could interact with the crowd. Because he was so incredibly gifted and talented, and
he still is. He still is an amazing 100%. Guitar player.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was looking for where his next beer was coming from, rather than what he was doing with his left hand, basically.
And then on top of him being an excellent player, he had some of the best lead guitar players in thrash metal in his band. I mean, he had Marty Friedman, who was legendary. He also played in Cacophony. He had some solo albums. Even the first player that he had, Chris Poland, was an excellent jazz guitar player. Chris Broderick, shout out for my Colorado guy. Kiko Loureiro, that was the Brazilian player, fantastic. And then the new guy, what's his Temu? I don't know his last name,
but none of them made it past X number of years, right? It's quite a revolving door that you just mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at, I think that's also a big difference between Megadeth and Metallica. I mean, sure, Metallica had a few members, but if you look at the recording parts of this, when they started with Kill 'Em All till the last album, I mean, they had, they had basically Dave never recorded with them, so. Kirk is still the only lead guitar player on the album.
Yeah.
And they only had two different bass players. That's it. If you look at Megadeth, I think they had like 17 different guitar players and 5 different drummers and 5 different bass players. So almost every album had a different lineup.
I do think... go ahead, Charles.
No, go on. You go on.
Well, I do think their current drummer, I think the guy's from Belgium.
Yeah, Dirk. Yeah.
Dirk, yeah. He is, I think, probably one of the best metal drummers in the industry right now. He is so solid.
Yeah, he's the guy. I mean, the bass player on this album, James Lorenzo, played with Black Label Society and
that's right,
lots of other things. And there are these. I don't think there has been a bad player in Megadeth. So, as far as the instruments, songwriting, I think Dave is also very gifted. He can write really good songs. I mean, I'm not saying every album has a lot of hits, but I can easily list 10 Megadeth songs that are all classics.
Agreed.
So that's not a thing. And I don't think I don't think he's a bad singer. I think, don't compare him to, he's not a Bruce Dickinson or a Ronnie James Dio or a Rob Halford, but in the style it fits. I mean, I think James really got better over the last years, but even James on the first 2 albums is okay. He was never the lead singer, I think, that they initially wanted, right? They just couldn't find anybody.
Yeah.
So he took on that role.
Yeah, I do remember that. So should we listen to a bit of the solo on here anyway?
Feel the flame.
That's nice.
Someone help me. Oh, please God help me. They're trying to take it all away.
Yeah, the voice just needs to be bigger. It needs to be more produced. like it.
That's good. Twin guitars. Nice.
I mean,
It gets shred, man. It gets shred.
I mean, musically, it's solid, right? It's super solid. I mean, it would have been brilliant if you would have brought somebody else in to do the vocals.
Yeah.
I think this version could have been better. That's ego.
Well, it's always been Dave Mustaine's band, huh?
Someone help me. Oh, please God help me. They're trying to take it all away.
Yeah, so going back on the guitars, man. I mean, first of all, yeah, like you said, Dirk Verburen, amazing drummer, but it also reminded me how bloody brilliant Lars Ulrich was on this album, because his film...
Controversial.
Oh, no. There's no controversy of Lars Ulrich being an amazing drummer in the 80s. He was one of the best drummers in the 80s. I'm not good. I think every real drummer knows that. He this album, how he drums, is amazing. Dirk does an amazing job as well. And the guitar solos, I think they were pretty spot on with the Metallica recording. They sounded, they followed the same structure, the same melody.
Yeah.
I mean, both Dave and Timo definitely
they're solid.
top players. Yeah.
Do you think that drum take was all in one take, or do you think there are kind of drop-ins going on in there?
Well,
Actually, I saw Dirk van Buren on a channel called Drumeo.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so they give it a song that they don't know.
Yeah,
I
know. I'm a subscriber. I
think his was Mr. Brightside by the Killers that he didn't know.
Was it?
Yeah.
And which, by the way, it just absolutely amazes me when you have these amazing drummers. They listen to a song and then they have to kind of put their own drum part on top of it in the moment, right? And they get a couple of times to listen to it. He had a whole system as to how he would follow. And then, the ability for them to remember it so quickly. And it was nothing short of amazing. And so I would be surprised if that wasn't done in one take. You know what I mean? Not saying that it didn't take like 25 times to get there, but there was not any drop-ins or cut-ups or... I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that, but what do you guys think?
He can do it. I have no doubt that any band member in this, can play the song from A to Z. I don't have no doubt in that. I think nowadays with new studio technology, there's no need for it. I mean, in the old days, like I remember an interview of Deep Purple when they were recording in Switzerland, and if they could have had the most brilliant take, but if somebody would have missed one little note, everybody had to redo everything again because it had to be recorded live. There was no option because of, it was analog tape. So they don't have to do it. If you say, is this a one take recording? Probably not, because nobody in the studio does that anymore. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll come on to this later, but I have to say, my God, that Kreator drummer, bloody hell.
Yeah. He's
oh my God. It's just like, what is he on? It's just like insane. It's just insane. You're just like, you listen to it and you think that he's probably doing the toughest workout that anyone's ever done in the history of workouts. It's just kind of Yeah, these kind of thrash drummers, they kind of, I guess they're just kind of obsessive. Yeah. Well, you can imagine how obsessive, say, we get or people get over heavy metal. Then if you throw into the mix that you're a drummer as well, then that becomes your passion in life. You must really just, God, there's just no limits to how far you can take it. Do you know what I mean? You know?
And all the thrash, I mean, Dave Lombardo from Slayer, Charlie Benante from Anthrax.
Okay, so so you said Lars Ulrich was the best drummer or the good drummer in the in the 80s. So what actually happened to him in the 90s then?
Ego. I think. Well,
no, but I'm not talking about him as a character. I'm talking about him as a drummer. So
yeah, he started to develop this weird. I want my drum sound to be different and it started already on "And Justice for All." You know, where he has this much drier, very tight sound on the drums. So it's more. It's not his technical ability. I think he's still a really good drummer. I think people just like to piss on him because it's the internet. You know what I mean? I think he's still a great drummer. There's nothing. Is he the best drummer? Well, music is, first of all, music is not sports, right? So again, Derek is an amazing drummer. Charlie Benante is an amazing drummer. That's the guy from Kreator. What's his name? Vettel is an amazing drummer. Igor from Sepultura is an amazing drummer. There's so many. You know. Gene Hoglan from Dark Angel, you know, one of the best drummers too. So there's 100%. So many amazing drummers.
I reckon you could fill up the next half hour. Just list all the great metal drummers.
I can list all the great drummers.
I mean, keep on going.
Talking of Drumeo, did any of you see that episode with that kind of Eastern European girl, Chris, somebody is her name, doing the Baby O'Reilly Who cover? Did anyone see that?
I've not seen that. No.
Okay, I'm going to have to send you guys a link. She's this kind of Instagram, social media sort of drummer. I mean, obviously really pretty. That helps with them. She's got millions of followers, but they had her doing a Who song that she'd never heard before. She's only young. She's only like early 20s, I'm guessing, something like that. But anyway, since none of you have seen it, you'll be like, you don't really know what I'm talking about. But I will send.
But I'm curious now, Charles. So yes, please.
I will send it. Right. Anyway, should we play out the songs? We've only got like a couple of minutes to go. Is this? I noticed it's 6 minutes. Is that how long's the original?
Close. It sounds in the same tempo. I don't hear anything really different. I mean, you know,
and so far it's pretty much the same arrangement as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds different.
It's a little longer.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Do me a favor, since we're in here, play the second song.
Oh, okay.
I don't care.
Yeah, because the second song, I don't care. To me, is voice, attitude, it all fits really nicely.
It's in the top, Charles. On the top, it's also the.
It's got a different thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's a second single.
I don't care if I'm out of line. I don't care because this life is mine. I don't care you don't like what I say. I don't care and I won't obey. I don't care if you're getting high. I don't care when the truth is a lie. I don't care when the rope gets tight. I don't care if you live or die. I don't care what the headline said. I don't care if all hope is dead. I don't care if I'm not your class. I don't care, you can kiss my ass.
To me, it fits. Him, the attitude, just much better.
And his voice fits as well, no problem. This is a Megadeth song.
100%. This is like.
I never learned you get what you deserve. You gotta know
that attitude, right? And that attitude is missing in his version of Ride the Lightning. And he's got this in spades. We all know that. And I think, because I said earlier, he has a chip on his shoulder from the whole Metallica. He should have milked that more because he's just pissed off. This song shows his pissed off state. It just, to me, it works. I love this song. You can take Ride the Lightning, this one, it's like, man, I'll put this up against anything.
So Charles, can we
Are we done?
Yeah, just a quick. I mean, it's.
Okay.
I quickly wanted to say is, so on the first Megadeth album, so let's go back to Dave in Metallica. He wrote 4 songs on Kill 'Em, co-wrote, sorry,
Right.
4 songs on Kill 'Em All and 2 songs on Ride the Lightning.
Ride the Lightning.
That's comfort. Yeah. So Ride the Lightning and Call of Cthulhu are his songs, and then on the first album, For Horsemen, which he recorded actually on his first Megadeth album as the Mechanic, which is a way faster version. I love that version. Metal Militia, I think, Phantom Lord. I don't know what the other one is. But those are the songs that he co-wrote on Kill 'Em All. So on the first Megadeth album, he actually takes a song that people already know from Metallica, and he just speeds it up, and it's awesome. It's, I think he should have done something different with Ride the Lightning, like Mike said. This sounds for me too much like the Metallica version.
Yes.
And then you can't stop comparing it. Yeah. That's the thing,
Unfortunately.
And then I think, then I prefer the Metallica version. That's my.
Well, and that's
this song,
pretty much because of James's vocal.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
right.
And I think even James and Kirk's guitar leads on that album. I mean, Kirk's leads on the album are great too. I don't know how much of the song is Dave's part. I assume all the more technical guitar parts, because that's what Dave Mustaine is, right?
Right.
So I don't know, because the other guys still have writing credits on this, but I was never worried about the guitar leads. that was never the issue with Megadeth. I think for me it was I wish he would have done something different. But it's a bonus track on the album, so that's also a different thing. It's not a. If I listen to the whole album, I can definitely recommend it. This song is brilliant. I like that "Let There Be Shred." That's also a single. Which is,
that's good too. Agreed.
The only thing that I had is there was one song. I think it's "The Last Note," and then before the electric guitar solo, he does an acoustic solo. But it's over a heavy guitar riffed, chord piece, and it sounds like they were recording in the studio, and somebody in the next studio was playing on his. It doesn't fit. I don't know if you have it. It's on. I think it's the.
Do you want me to look for it? Hold on.
The Last Note, and it's around like 3 minutes.
What song?
The Last Note. It's the last official song.
Okay. So I thought you were literally talking about The Last Note.
No.
Hold on. The Last Note of what song? Okay, let's listen to it. Round about 3 minutes. Okay, let's listen to the first 30 seconds just to get into it.
One more winding road, so I won't come back. The roar I lived for.
I like the vocal sound.
Yeah, the
sounds like Tom Waits.
And now it's time for me to say the long goodbye.
It's a bit of a slower song, but it's a good album closer. I mean, this is also very Megadeth, right?
This is very Megadeth.
Yeah.
Actually, I like it.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's a good song.
I don't think Dave has a true singing voice. But again, if you look at some of the other songs where he does more like melodic talking, that fits his vibe really, really well. Again, B-Cells or the song that we just I Don't Care. He's not really singing, but he's almost talking in a very melodic way, and that fits Dave just to a T.
And that also is that punk style vocal too, right? That punk style delivery.
Yeah. So, I'm rapping face to face, so y'all know I'm punk rock, Good song though, I like it.
Oh yeah, it's just for me that acoustic part is just a little bit weird.
Yeah.
It's not. I think it's more a production thing than a.
Here we go. It's just a solo.
It's like boom, boom, boom.
Spanish guitar.
Yeah, but
I quite like it.
No, it doesn't fit the production to me.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And now we get the real solo. And now it's such a contrast. This is how it should be.
Okay, right here. Yeah, it feels like a little bit out of sorts.
I like they have like an acoustic product like in Holy Wars too. But that fits the song. It goes down, and then it gets acoustic, and then he plays some kind of Middle Eastern pattern, and then it builds the song on that. But here it fits like. Yeah.
Well, remember in the 80s, so many intros, even Metallica. I mean, there were so many intros that were acoustic, almost like more for the shock factor than anything else, right? And then it would go into.
I remember playing Master of Puppets downstairs, and we had the record player, and I put it on, and my dad really thought that I bought a classical guitar album for like the first 20 seconds, and then he was just like, "Wow!"
Yeah,
that's funny.
That was funny. But anyway, I thought that this is my only thing that I have on the whole record that I'm going like, I would have made it. This and the vocals on Right Lighting are the only thing. The rest, I think it's a really solid album. I think Megadeth really delivered. Is it his, magnus opus? No, because that was done during the I would say
Rest in Peace.
Earlier albums from the 80s and the 90s, maybe.
Yeah,
but it's a great album. I think if for Megadeth, I would say it's a 7. But if it was any other thrash artist, I would give it, an 8 plus. I think it's a good album.
What do you think is So Far, So Good, So What?
That was one of the that has In My Darkest Hour on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mary Jane.
And also I think Anarchy in the UK.
Okay, yeah. Actually, stop. Let me stop you there. Anarchy in the UK, their version. To me, that's just the lowest point of the album. I just don't like that version they did of that, even though I was reading up on this, people actually do like it, and I was surprised. But listening to Ride the Lightning, I think we can safely say it actually is a cover, because it's so entrenched in us that to me, it's just it's like listening to Anarchy in the UK on So Far, So Good, So What. It's just
but
like
the difference is he wrote this, so.
Well, I know, but I can't get past. It's kind of like, but he hasn't really changed it. It's pretty much the same arrangement, really. And then so if you're going to do something different, then at least have a massive, as you say, 2025, 26 production, but it doesn't have that either.
Yeah. So, I think the albums before So Far and the albums actually after So Far are better. I think So Far in that whole line. And so I think Killing Is My Business and Pestilence, the first two, I love those, but they're much rawer. And then after the ones that have Marty Friedman on it, so Countdown to Extinction and I can't remember all the titles again. But anyway, those albums I think are really good. But
Yeah,
Megadeth has been more consistent in delivering at least a few good songs on every album.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised. So I did a search I always go on to sort of a band, and I type in a band and I write albums ranked, and there's some fans out there or sites have ranked all their albums. And I have to say I was saddened, surprised, disappointed, all of those words, to see So Far So Good So What kind of low down the lists of Megadeth albums. Because to me, I just bloody love that album. I remember just at the time just listening to it and just thinking, oh, this is just a great album, except for Anarchy in the UK.
Yeah, but Charles, you also like
it's a great album.
You also like Poison, I believe, right?
Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. Listen. Okay, listen. This is the perfect segue, right? So I've spent the last month, right?
Do we want to take Megadeth off the since we're switching over?
Yeah, go on. Here, look, I'll just do stop sharing here.
Because now we're getting interested.
Look, we're back. Look, I can see you.
I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say about.
Okay, so I've been listening to these out. Look, I've got notes. I've been listening to these albums a lot, not like once or twice. I've basically been listening to remind the viewers here. I've set the task of listening to Metal Church, The Dark, which I believe, Maikel, you called a masterpiece.
Oh, such a great,
yeah. And Kreator, Pleasure to Kill.
Pleasure to Kill.
Which, yeah, there you go.
You got to do it with a German accent.
So, yeah, I tell you, you wouldn't really know they were German, though. You would every now and then, but you wouldn't necessarily know. So I'm just trying to think which album did I like best. Okay, I've enjoyed the experience. I've enjoyed listening to both of them. I started off listening to Metal Church, and I was actually surprised when I put it on. I thought it was going to be a lot darker, a lot heavier. So it's funny that you say to me, you just throw out there, but I like Poison. Thing with that album, right? That could actually be. I could argue that could actually be a glam album.
No way.
Yes,
No way.
Yes. As much as it's a thrash album. And the funny thing is, right, is I listen to it, but I don't really write down. I don't pay attention to song titles. So I was typing out the song titles today, and they're all kind of dark. Sort of Method to My Madness, Over My Dead Body, The Dark, Psycho, Line of Death. And I'm sitting there thinking, hold on, but I'm listening to this album like it could be a early Motley Crue album or something. It's got that real.
Charles, these are fighting words.
But listen. What I want to say is, I agree with you. I think it's a masterpiece. I think the songwriting is amazing. Yeah. I think the vocalist, who's the vocalist? That guy's amazing. The guitar riffs are just amazing. So we'll come back to that. So I spent the first few days or week listening to that. Then I put the Kreator album on, and I was like, 2 songs in, I was like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to get through this one time, let alone a number of times. But I'm an endurance runner. So I thought, no, I'm going to put up with this. I'm going to put this. And what I noticed is that when I wasn't listening to any album, either of them, the Kreator album was actually the one that I was thinking about the most. So I've actually came up to a decision which album I think I prefer of the two. And I've always been one for drama.
Oh, look at that.
Wow. I have to say, that Kreator album, I think it actually starts off kind of, I don't know, I can't really get into the first couple of tracks or so, but my God, when it hits
the beat side is
when it hits Pleasure to Kill, Riot of Violence, The Pestilence, oh my God. It's just like, wow. In fact, look, okay, we're going to do one more share here. And we only listen to about 1 minute.
You're wearing a Kreator shirt, Charles.
Like I say, it's filled up my headspace. But here, I got to play that. This is only going to be 1 minute. Hopefully I got it queued up. This bit, okay. It was this bit of the album on about the 3rd or 4th listen when I realized this is this bit. Oh, this is just great. And then the vocal comes in a minute. Oh, listen to that. Anyway,
So good.
I remember a friend of mine, William, coming to my house with that album.
yeah.
And I was like, phew. And then I think the next tour I saw them live. Oh my God, they were so amazing.
So I've been
Yeah.
over the last couple of weeks. I've been listening to their new album, Crushers of the World, and it's been really interesting. So I like it, but it feels more power metal than it feels thrash metal. And there is this song, Satanic Anarchy. It's a great song. I've been having it on repeat like for days, but it has a lot more power metal elements to it than thrash metal elements. But it's great. I'm just impressed that 40 years in, they're still able to bring an album like this, and that you can tell that there's an evolution, right? The lyrics gotten a little softer. It's not no longer as nasally, shouty, and groggly, but actually better, I think. And the same.
Are they one of these bands who've had plenty of lineup changes over the years?
Very consistent in the lead singer Miller.
Yep.
He's the Dave Mustaine of the band. He's like on our records, and the drummer.
And he's just a lead singer. Does he play guitar?
No,
or
he plays guitar as well. And then I think the lineup changes is in the bass and lead. The other guitar player. They both play leads. But yeah, that's where it changes. But not. Yeah, they have a lot of changes in it, but it's not as it's not as bad as Megadeth.
So talking about that album, I realized something about thrash metal that I've kind of knew subconsciously, but only realized. I'm not really into these like songs that are just all out. I like the songs that kind of break down, songs like South of Heaven, songs like Harvester of Sorrow, songs like For Whom the Bell Tolls. And I noticed on the Kreator album, I love it when they just kind of go in half tempo or just start kind of getting those riffs in, because it just sounds really just dirty and guttural and just just like kind of scary.
Since we do you have the screen share, do me a favor. It's an album that I really want you to listen to as well. I don't think you're going to survive this one because this is too violent, but find Dark Angels Burning of Sodom.
Burning of who?
Sodom.
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 Okay, hold on.
Sodom and Gomorrah. By the way, that's a nice. While you're looking for that, Sodom is also one of the better German thrash metal bands.
Yeah, Sodom is really.
Aren't they part of the Big Four of thrash or something?
The German or the Teutonic Big Four is I think it's Kreator, Sodom, Destruction, and Tankard. Those are the.
Yeah.
Okay, so this song here, when did this come out? Is this like old school? Yeah?
85?
That was something like that. 80.
Yeah. Because they re-recorded some of the songs from the first album for...
I think in 98, they re-recorded it.
Oh, is this late? Okay, yeah.
But again, Charles, heads up. This is probably one of the most violent albums in the thrash world.
Okay.
Scream coming in now is brilliant. whole album is this speed. It really doesn't slow down. There's some breaks in it as well, but I don't know. I discovered it too late. I've admitted that last time, but it still is probably in my top 3 Thrash albums at this point in time.
Remind me, what year was that again?
86. This is 86.
86.
Okay, so I've also been listening only a couple of times. I also listened to Legacy Testament.
Oh yeah.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
And that was kind of interesting listening to that and listening to the Kreator album, because that basically came out sort of a year. I think it came out in 87,
Mm-hmm.
Testament album.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how it's almost like Master of Puppets set a new template for everything, because after 87, the production on Testament album is just so much slicker than it is, say, on that Kreator album. And that could be just for many reasons. But I think that, and it's a great album. It's a great album. But I think that Kreator album has something, though. It has something in there,
I think if you look at the early days of Thrash, so if we say that Kill 'Em All is the first Thrash album, that's 83, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then if you see the albums that being released, by Anthrax, by Slayer, even the difference between like Slayer Hell Awaits versus Slayer Rain in Blood, it's crazy production-wise. So 86 is kind of like that turning point. Suddenly you have, all these albums coming out. Even the album after Pleasure to Kill, I think, is it Violent Aggression after Pleasure to Kill? I think it is. Top of my head.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway, so quickly to say is every year the productions went up, budgets went up. Thrash was still underground, but there was suddenly a really big scene. So bands got more budget. Labels were picking it up. It got really big, also in Europe. So there was much more American bands touring Europe. Big festivals. Maikel probably also remember all the big festivals in the Netherlands. Even we had like
Monsters of
Dynamo
Rock
Open Air that had like 10, 15,000, 20,000 people showing up for Thrash shows, which is that was quite unique.
In that documentary that you sent over, I was able to watch it about the Thrash scene in the Bay Area. They had Dynamo in that documentary as well, as to I think that was where Metallica played for the very first time in Holland.
Oh yeah. We had so Charles, for living a little bit of context. There's a
Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning it in the last
Dynamo and
episode.
and I can send you more like videos of like Testament and other bands, Exodus and whatever. They all have
T-shirts.
either like a Dynamo sticker or T-shirt or whatever. Yeah. So it was a really underground.
I think I actually have
an
old sticker from Dynamo, because I used to go to art school in Eindhoven, and on my bus pass on the outside sleeve it has a Dynamo sticker.
Yeah. My school was basically behind the parking lot there.
Oh,
so I spent a lot of time in Dynamo. So great bands.
What is the place now?
It's still there. It was closed for a while because it was like a youth center. So they had a lot of metal, but they also had a lot of like hip hop and other stuff.
Yeah.
And I think they started it again, but like with a lot of things, like government subsidies dropped, and so I think they were closed for a while. I can't remember the story. I've been away from Eindhoven too long to remember that part. But anyway, I think, like you said, if you're listening to that 80s, 85, 86 Thrash, and then the years after and the years before, they really sound different. Like Bonded in Blood. Okay,
yeah.
Hot topic. I think Bonded in Blood is a better album than Kill 'Em All. So
you're gonna turn our viewers away in the thousands.
I'm sorry, guys. I think that album Exodus Bonded in Blood has such. I think Exodus had the problem with management and people leaving it and blah blah. But if not, they would have been the biggest.
They had one more problem. So I would agree with you on, from music perspective, tempo, all of that, right? The singer really wasn't a singer. And I know you like that voice, but to me, it didn't do anything. I just couldn't get get behind it. And this is where James took. And
yeah, but James in '83 also sounded like a kid with a high voice.
Well,
Come on, if you hit it.
Well, he did, right? Agreed, but still, it didn't have that nasally gravelly, and people don't necessarily go for nasally gravelly. That's just, it's not a recipe for a larger public. And as much as we can all sit here and say, well, Metallica sold out, I don't think they did. They just kind of evolved, right? And they were the first ones to really put thrash on the map, right? Yes, Exodus was before them because they came from LA and they had no clue what really was happening. And then even Slayer went up to the Bay Area and they're like, shit, what's happening over here? And remember, Slayer, early Slayer, they had like makeup, right? Like big eyeliner, which is on their first album on the back cover. But it was the Bay Area scene that said, "What the fuck are you doing? Get that stuff off of here. We don't accept. You're not in Hollywood anymore."
Yeah, exactly.
I think what was obvious about Metallica, though, listening to a bit of thrash this last month, is Metallica were just really good songwriters. They just wrote really good songs. Their songs. The reason they're the biggest band is because they write the best songs, I think.
They have a great management and everything from the start. And I think the creative decisions that they made on the albums and the steady lineup and hardworking band. I mean, they toured their ass off in the beginning, and so I mean, credits for credit. I'm not saying Metallica is not, but I'm just saying if I now in hindsight listen to Bonded in Blood versus Kill 'Em All, I mean Kill 'Em all classics as well. I love that album. Bonded in Blood gels a little bit better with me now. That's I think. But I'll give you both also. I'll do after the podcast. I'll give you a little bit of homework because I've got the latest album of Dark Angel, which is not on streaming platforms.
Oh,
you better be kind.
Oh,
and there's a reason for that.
Oh, is that right?
I'll put in a share up. I'll share.
This is only going out across the internet, so
yes,
it's not
too
many people.
It's fine.
I'll tell you what. Okay. So send that to us. I'll tell you what I do want to say because I know we said we'd keep it to about an hour. What I want to talk a bit more about Metal Church. Though.
Okay. Yeah. Go.
So talking of songwriting, I think the songs on it are just excellent. You can just pick out any number of songs and they're excellent. I think the vocals are excellent. I think the guitar riffs are excellent. But here's my but with that album. And this only occurred to me sort of after I'd been listening to it for a while. If you think about it, in 1986, there were only three kinds of bands you could be. You could either be a LA kind of glam band, you could be a thrash band, or you could be some kind of legacy act like Judas Priest, Dio, Ozzy, somebody like that. And if you listen to that Metal Church album, I know you raised your eyebrows, Maikel, but really, is it thrash? Yeah. Is it glam? Yeah. Is it a legacy album? Yeah, because it sounds a lot like Judas Priest and Dio. And I think the problem with Metal Church, why they never exploded onto the scene, is I don't think and I could be just talking crap, but my sense is they just didn't fit a genre as well as some of the other bands possibly did.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know about that. I think Metal Church was just a troubled band, unfortunately. And turnover early on, especially with the lead singer. If
lead singer died.
Okay, well, let me just throw out there. So I was reading about them on Wikipedia, and so basically the guitar player is the songwriter. He's the main guy in them. In fact, he's got a Dutch name.
No, Kurt van der Hoof. Kurt van der Hoof. Van der Hoof. Yeah,
but what's interesting?
German name. Yeah.
Okay, so what's interesting though is he didn't even tour with them for 10 years. He just stayed at home. I don't know if you guys knew this, but he kind of played with them for the first few years. Then he said, all right, that's it. I'm not touring anymore. But he still wrote for them, still played on the albums. But there was a 12-year period. He just didn't even go out and play with them.
And again,
which is
I rest my case. Bizarre. There was just a lot of turmoil in the band. And the singer, the original singer passed away. And I think if the original lineup could have been more consistent and nothing would have happened to the singer, I think they could have been a lot bigger because they did, and I will give you credit for this, Charles. They did have the ability to add in some hooks that because the even in metal, right? There's or punk music, there is music that just kind of all throws it into like, fuck it, I don't care if there's a hook, I don't care if people can sing along. Like Dark Angel, there's no way that you really can sing along. It's just too fast. It doesn't have the hooks. It just. But there is plenty of metal that does have all those things, and Metallica has that. Maiden has that. Priest has it to a certain degree. Dio has it. Black Sabbath has it. So there is something to still be. We always think about hooks and we think about pop music, but it happens in metal as well. And Metal Church had that ability to create these hooks, like "Watch the Children Pray." Right?
Oh my God! Yeah, let me stop you there. That song is just bloody amazing.
Oh, it's
when I was listening to the album for the first time and that came on. I was in the kitchen cooking and I had it on the headphones and I was like, bloody hell, why have I not heard this song before? This was everything I ever liked about metal in sort of the mid 80s. It was that song, you know?
No, it's
that's amazing.
You know,
amazing.
But it's dark, but it still has a bit of a hooky, poppy kind of tone to it, and that's why you're thinking, well,
Glam.
It's not. It's not glam.
It's not
glam.
It is.
Saying this, Charles, is like for me, glam. First, also glam has different stages. I mean, like the Van Halen glam is different than the early Motley Crue and the second wave of glam, like with Poison and everything. But that's a different story. For me, Metal Church, I think they had a lot of melody. They were melodic, and I think they were closer to, let's say, the new wave of British heavy metal. Like a lot of thrash bands were a lot of also into the punk.
Yeah.
I think I would call maybe Metal Church more towards the speed metal, heavy metal, and thrash, that area. Yeah. So it had quite of a unique sound in that way. There were more bands that had that kind of style.
Yeah, but that production is just so. It's like a pop production. It's just really well. It's a really clean production.
It is.
You know?
Yeah.
It's a very clean production. So that,
I remember that song had a lot of MTV airplay too, by the way.
It did.
Yeah.
It had a lot. But again, because it had a little bit more melodic tone to it, and people just loved it. It was in metal, that was a very popular song back in the day. And yes, you're right. Yeah. It was on MTV like all the time. Yeah. But for good reason. It was a solid metal song.
Yeah. And a great live band. And, so they had everything, but like they had the issues in the band. Like,
did you guys see that? You saw them live, yeah?
Yeah. Great band. Awesome.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And there were a lot of bands from that area that didn't make it. I mean, again, we can have a different episode, but, think about like, Lars Rocket and, there's so many Onslaught, and there's so many bands that at some point made a great album. Dead Brain Cells from Canada.
Lars Rocket, I mean, they were right there in the early thrash days in the Bay Area. I mean, they they never.
But yeah, exactly. So there's lots of bands from that, Forbidden,
But see, to me,
Violence.
I'm fascinated by that. And maybe because I'm in marketing, brand building, all that stuff. Why does one band make it, right? And the other band doesn't? So, for example, you were saying, Charles, Metallica, well, their songwriting is really, really good. And it is, right? In general, it's especially early days albums. I still, for me, Ride the Lightning is their best album. Not Master of Puppets, hands down, Ride the Lightning. The songwriting was so good on it. But
Master of Puppets is it for me, but that's okay.
I prefer Master of Puppets.
But that's okay. You guys can be wrong on that. That's okay.
But Ride the Lightning though has their best. No, to me, I prefer Master of Puppets, but Ride the Lightning has my favorite Metallica songs on: Fade to Black, Creeping Death, and For Whom the Bell Tolls. Those three. Boom, boom, boom.
But then again, Trapped Under Ice. I'm like, okay. Anyway.
I could leave that. Well, again, okay. So we're going back. Even Fight Fire with Fire. Again, it's that. It's just full on. I like just hang back a little, guys. Just groove a little bit more.
Oh, I love
That's what I like. I
love that one.
Don't hang back.
I don't know. Okay, what do you prefer out of Battery and Fight Fire with Fire? Do you have a preference?
Damage Incorporated.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like you said, Metallica have so many great songs. I think it would be interesting to talk about that, in the next episode on what makes it, what bands didn't make it. I can share some names with you, some albums that I think like, oh, these bands never made it. Listen to it. Maybe, you can give some feedback.
I will say,
absolutely.
if you look at early metal, and this is really interesting to me. So the first wave really of new British metal, right? Which was Maiden, not with Bruce Dickinson, but Paul Diageo. And he brought that punk vibe to it. So you could really see punk jumping into metal. And I love that. And interestingly, then years later, you see that same kind of jump happening in the Bay Area, where they have really heavy punk influence, right? Be it with even Slayer, be it with Metallica, or you name it. And so I think the one element that we should explore more, and I know I'm the lone punker here, but the importance of punk music into metal.
Oh yeah.
And where that all kind of evolved from punk into metal and even till today, and how now
it's interesting.
I think we're seeing a new generation again where there's a blending. So I'm a little obsessed, as they say, low-key obsessed with Amyl and the Sniffers, and how they're now taking some of the AC/DC rock and combining it with punk and giving it more attitude. And some of it is fast and some of it is a little slower, but it all has, again, these hooks that are really easy to either remember, sing along. The songwriting is actually pretty solid. It's a completely different type of songwriting than the thrash or the new wave of British metal. So it's interesting to see how evolution, jumping from one or borrowing from other music styles, creates a new music style that either resonates or it doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Well, we should explore that. I think
we should have a punk episode, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Basically. Well, and punk and other styles that have influenced metal, because people think that it's a very like a serial thing. Like, oh, we have Black Sabbath, and then we have at some point, we have like maybe, I don't know, Thin Lizzy and Motorhead, and then Deep Purple, and then it goes into the Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Saxon, Venom, Slayer, and etc. That line. But reality is there's a lot of other influences, like Maikel mentioned, like the punk scene. Thin Lizzy, for example, were friends with the Sex Pistols.
Right. Shout out to Phil Lynott here.
Motorhead were friends with the Ramones. There's a lot of influence.
And have you seen some of the
you know what?
Some of the Ramones? So Lemmy played with the Ramones, and some of that video footage is absolutely amazing. But I would say Motorhead. I mean, punk influence. I mean, all the way. It never stopped. Right.
Yeah, and Motorhead influenced bands like Exploited and GBH.
Correct.
So you had the Oi
Black
Punk,
Flag.
and then the Oi Punk then again influences a lot of the American bands as well. So you get all the crossover bands. And then I think in the mid-'80s, what you see is very interesting is you see that it's like a push-pull thing. So you see that the punk bands are influencing the metal bands, but also the other way around. So you get bands like Agnostic Fronts, who are like hardcore bands, or Cro-Mags, but they have metal influences.
Crumbsuckers.
Or DRI. Yeah. So Crumbsuck, so you get that other way around. So yeah,
it's funny. You would see these punk bands, and one of them would have like a token long hair person in it, and you think, oh, he's the Maikel in this punk band, and invariably he's the one playing sort of the hammer guitar or something like that.
Yeah, Tom Araya does a cameo in Institutionalized from Suicidal Tendencies, so that's way before even.
There's one song on that Kreator album. I think it's Under the Guillotine, where he sounds just like Lemmy.
Oh yeah,
the Kreator album.
Yeah.
Do you know the song I'm talking about?
Kreator was heavily influenced by Motorhead, by Venom, by.
But that one song, when the vocals, you think, my God, I could be listening to Lemmy here. It's just so whatever. Cool. All right, guys, listen. I've actually got a split.
Yeah, no worries. Next time. So
but that was really good.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Next time we talk about Dark Angel specifically, so I'll share some stuff with you, and let's talk about the punk metal and everything.
Yeah, I'm almost nervous to say it, but I want Maikel to listen to the first Motley Crue album,
which
Too
was that?
Fast for
was
Love.
that? Not Livewire.
Yeah, Livewire on there.
Yeah, no,
yeah. I mean, it sounds like Metal Church.
No. But
Metal Church had better production.
That album has a couple of fun songs, right? But
Looks to Kill, is that also in that one?
No, that's the second album.
Oh, second album.
They'd sold out by then.
But I think Motley Crue. I think they could have been. I mean, obviously they were very successful. So we can't say, because more people know Motley Crue than they know Slayer or definitely a Kreator, Destruction. I mean, go down the list, right? So did they sell out? Not sure. It was just not my cup of tea. The original album, it had some promising elements because Mick Mars, incredible guitar player, Tommy Lee, solid drummer, right? But then they went just...
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
There were no more names after that, make no mistake. But then they just went party hard into late 80s, 90s. And I think there's just so much drama around the band. And they just...
Yeah.
It just kind of spoiled it all, right?
Their albums really did progressively get worse. And I know a lot of people think of Dr. Feelgood as some kind of classic, but it's not.
No.
I don't think.
I can't stand listening to Girls are smoking in the boys' room. All that stuff for me. That's
horrible.
Like,
that was horrible.
I don't know. The City Boy Blues off that album is a really good track. I think.
Okay, let's do it this way. I'm going to listen to because I don't know Motley Crue at all. I mean, I know the singles. I'm aware of Motley Crue, of course.
But the first album, listen to the first one. Just revisit the
first album. You know, you got us convinced here, Charles.
And what am I? All right.
It'll be nails on a chalkboard, but we can handle it. We're big boys.
Yes.
And we'll be objective.
Listen, it took me
objective. That's
look.
key.
It took me three listens to realize that I actually do like the Kreator album. And look, I'm wearing a bloody T-shirt now.
I might show up with a Motley Crue shirt. You never know.
That's funny.
That's funny.
That's proper funny if we end up with Motley Crue shirts.
Absolutely.
Well,
all right, guys, listen.
Okay, guys, it was a blast.
Yeah, let's call it a wrap. This was good.
It was good. Always a pleasure.
So next time, send me the Dark Angel or whatever the hell I'm listening to.
I definitely want to listen to that one
so
too.
I know next time.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Guys. See you next time.
Next time.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.